All right, welcome back to Fleccas, the podcast, episode 44. Today on the show, a New York City McDonald's worker was shot because he served up some cold fries. Donald Trump had his residence in Mar-a-Lago raided. We're going to tell you why Trump 2024 is needed more than a DeSantis 2024 run. Some of the Barstool guys make it into Cringe of the Week this week. And last but not least, a sex therapist tells us why we need to stop being mean to pedophiles. All this and more is Fleccas, the podcast, episode 44, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas, the podcast, featuring Richard Bradford. One for one of the intro, as always. Before we get into the show, this episode is brought to you by our friends over at the Contrast Debit Card. This episode is brought to you by the highly anticipated Contrast Debit Card. Guys, here at the show, we only support America First companies, and we only allow America First companies to support us back. This week's sponsor is the Contrast Debit Card, a new card that is coming soon that's going to allow you, the consumer, to get 10% back on America First products.
10% cash back? That's pretty good.
Very good. 10% cash back. And also they're redistributing some of the profits to companies that are based here in America and that produce their products here in America. This is so important now more than ever. We need to be deliberate with our dollars, and the Contrast Debit Card is exactly how you do that. Link is in the description. Sign up for that waiting list today and send me a screenshot that you signed up for the waiting list for a chance to get a base mug sent to your house. It's free, it's easy, and it's for a good cause. This is how we win the culture war long term. The Contrast Debit Card. Thank you for sponsoring. Make sure you guys sign up for that waiting list. This is a fantastic product that's going to make a huge difference. Let's get to the show. All right, getting into some housekeeping. We have some very solid housekeeping here. As always, we are tracking what causes blood clots and heart problems every week.
Yep.
This week, we have a new one. Loneliness caused by social media is now a new leading cause for heart attacks and blood clots among young people.
Yeah, it says social isolation and loneliness can raise a person's risk of heart disease and strokes by 30%.
That is not good. Hopefully you guys are not too lonely. That is causing heart problems and blood clots.
Yeah, Gen Z has been named America's loneliest generation.
Which sounds about right, and that could justify the increase in heart problems that young people are facing.
And I think loneliness goes right hand in hand with heartbreak. So we kind of covered this already.
We kind of did cover this last week. On unrelated news, life insurance companies said that there's an unexplained increase in deaths, 48% increase in deaths in the age group 18 to 49, which is very strange.
It says 40%.
40%, so it's probably nothing to worry about. Very strange. Maybe people are taking too many naps and drinking tea and are too lonely, or maybe have too much joy.
Yeah. It's
all of those things could be leading indicators.
Any combination of the two, though, really. I mean, you get two or more, you get loneliness and napping, you're done. So,
you're done.
Should I play the guys?
Yeah, let's play the clip.
U.S. life insurance companies have reported an overwhelming and unexplainable increase in all-cause deaths among 18 to 49-year-olds. Along with that, there's also been an increase in certain medical diagnoses, such as miscarriages and Bell's palsy. Here to
Bell's
give
palsy,
us her
didn't
take on the
Justin
new
Bieber
data
have
and
something
what
like
she
that?
believes.
Yeah.
Half the face slops?
Probably nothing to worry about. It's probably nothing. Let the life insurance companies worry about it, I guess.
And you know, it's funny. It's like the life insurance companies are the bag holders, right? They're like, wait, something is going on. Like something changed, something happened. And everybody else is like, shh, keep it down.
Yeah. And if you got an experimental, you know what, you're not allowed to sue. But it sounds like the life insurance companies are really trying to get to the bottom of it, and litigious action is not out of the question.
I think they're trying to sue the pharmaceutical companies as well. It's none of this is related to pharma. We can't assume that, obviously. But and this was like the numbers in this study. We're not going to play the whole clip, but it was like 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 was still fine. 20, which is when coronavirus was at its peak, 20 was still fine for the 18 to 49-year-old deaths. But then 2021 is when it got crazy.
Something must have happened. We must have been doing something new. Maybe people started drinking tea or taking naps. We will probably never know.
Yeah.
Moving on, I have a life update. I'm obviously going to share life updates with you guys when they're appropriate. I do have a life update. I stopped caring about hair in my food.
That's disgusting.
Isn't that crazy? I used to be a guy who, if he had hair in his food, I would go, up, that's done. Can't eat that anymore. It's all compromised. Send it back, throw it away. Actually, I probably wouldn't even send it back. I would just not eat it.
Yeah. I've never seen you send something back, so.
Thank you. Now I'm on a little bit of a different wave. I take the hair out and I separate the food that's contaminated and I eat the rest. And I've even found myself going back to the separated part and eating that without caring. So I don't know if it's a maturity thing, an age thing. Maybe now that we live in New Orleans and there's more hairs in our food because there's less standards here.
That was a Florida problem too. Getting a random Consuela hair.
Yeah. So I was always getting hairs in the food, but now I don't care anymore. Maybe I'm maturing. I'm probably growing up. That's a big mile marker for me. Let us know in the comments if you guys care about hair in your food. And then also comments always just help the show in general. And we hang out in the comments section for like the first 2 or 3 hours after an episode's released.
We do.
So call our bluff, leave us a comment, see if we reply to you. We most likely will. I no longer care about hair in my food.
If a hair looks like it came from me somewhere, I'm like, okay. If it's a really dark, black, disgusting, unknown source, I don't know where it came from, I'm still throwing the entire thing out.
That's a good point. Usually the hairs I'm seeing are little hairs that look like they could come from my mustache or my beard or my head. I'm talking about short hairs, mostly long hairs. I think the whole dish gets thrown out.
Okay. So you still have some standards. You're just changed a little.
Just changed a little, but I think for the better. Moving on. All right. Next piece of housekeeping. Sean Whalen, a fellow right-wing person.
You could say that.
Founder of Lions Not Sheep, that apparel brand a lot of people wear. He is under some fire right now because he misrepresented some of his products. He said they were made in the USA when they were probably made in other countries like China, Taiwan, or whatever. We are merch people, so I know that hustle. We sell a lot of t-shirts here, but we also never claim that they were made in the US. I don't fully know
But they are screen printed in the U.S.
Yeah, we are screen printing and fulfilling.
Someone in America had to write Helen Keller Denier, and they had to scrape it on. So
exactly. So Sean Whalen's under some fire. Lions Not Sheep's under some fire. I think it'll blow over. I don't know what the status of the company is right now, if they're right where they were, or if they're thriving, or if they're taking a little bit of a hit from this drama. But I will say this. I, in my hand, have a Sean Whalen collector's card in plastic, protected, an original with Sean Whalen on the front. And on the back, it says, never quit. Pivot, adapt, and move when it gets hard, but never quit. If I had quit every time it got difficult while building Lions Not Sheep, then I'd never have seen the day that my face was on a collector's edition baseball card like this one. Quote from Sean Whalen. So, I'm not going to get too involved in the drama going on within the company, but I will say this. This card is for sale for $10,000, not a penny less. I am firm with that offer. And I don't know. I think if someone were to purchase this card for $10,000, that would be a sign that things are okay and everyone's doing pretty good over at Lions Not Sheep.
So it's like a stock buyback, like, backstop the company. Like, we're fine. Look, this card just sold for 10 grand.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know exactly what's going on over at Lions Not Sheep, but I do know this. If this card sells for $10K, things are doing great. Things are fine.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned he put himself on a baseball card and then said, I would never be on a baseball card like this.
I am not going to go too far into that. I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, if this sells for $10K, things are good over at Lions Not Sheep. If you are interested in purchasing this card for $10,000, Fleccas at fleccastalks.com is the email. Shoot me an email, subject line, Sean Whalen card purchase, and I'll let you guys know.
Full offer price. Full asking price.
Full offer price, and then I'll send you wiring details, and then I'll keep you guys updated. Next week, if this sells within the next few days, I'll let you guys know in next week's episode what exactly happened there.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Guys, Fleccas thinks this is really going to sell. This is like his...
I have it in plastic. It's mint condition. Never even been touched. Never even been exposed to the air. It's in plastic. I think we got something here. Lions Not Sheep is a real company. Sean Whalen is a hustler. He's an entrepreneur. If his card sells for $10K, we're establishing a market there. I think that's a valuable proposition.
Can I see it? Do we know how many are in circulation?
Don't touch it too much. Whoa! Don't touch it too much.
Sean Whalen.
Lions Not Sheep, brother.
This is like a real baseball card, tops, like a real card. So,
and that's why it's going for $10K. So my email is fleccas@fleccastalks.com. If you'd like to purchase it, let me know, and we will keep everyone updated and let you know if it gets purchased by next week. Moving on, we have some local art here in New Orleans where we live in the Bywater. One of the things that we pass by every day is like this pile of bikes, and here it is now.
it's all white painted bikes.
It's presented as art.
And it was at one point.
But it also rains here every day, so I'm beginning to think that this bike pile is going to become a rusted bike pile, and then it's going to become a rusted trash bike pile. So I just want to get on the record that I am not a big supporter of that art piece. I didn't think it was art all along, and it's just going to soon become an eyesore piece of trash on the side of the road.
We actually had a conversation about art. And you were saying, like, what makes art good? What makes it valuable? Like, someone has to buy it for it to be good, right?
Yeah. Does someone have to purchase art? Does there have to be, like, commerce around it that shows public interest to make it good? There's a good debate to be had there.
And then we were talking about, I said all the best art pieces are, like, giant, hard-to-make things that, like, are commissioned by a city or something.
Yeah, yeah.
This one, I feel like, they may have commissioned it, but it's a bike pile. They got a little lazy. Like,
it's a little bit lazy. It's a bike pile, and it's not going to look good after a few years on the side of the road there. And one day, someone from the city will come and just throw the whole thing in the trash.
a bulldozer will come and scoop it up.
All right, second to last clip of housekeeping. We have a very important show, so we're kind of going fast through housekeeping. This mountain lion clip, there's a mountain lion in someone's house. Looks pretty scary. The only thing I would like to add is I'd fuck this thing up. I'm not scared of that. Growling like it's a cat.
Yeah, you would. You'd sustain some damage. You'd be like, you'd have this and that and its claws.
I don't think he can even reach me.
What do you think you're going to do?
I'm just
Stiff-arm him?
going to kick it. I'm going to kick it. It's going to run. It's not even going to have time to go on offense. I am not scared of stuff like that.
Okay, that's
Just
fair.
Get that out there.
That's fair.
Last piece of housekeeping. This is kind of I don't know if it's a new segment. Not really. It's a what's more likely situation.
You're doing this to me?
Well, I'm doing it to the audience because I think you already know the answer.
Okay.
So we're going to have two scenarios here, and we're going to ask the audience which is more likely. Scenario 1. Richard Rapoy in 10th grade went to Wrigley Field on a school trip. Richard Rapoy is from Chicago.
I am. The suburbs.
So he went to a he went on a school trip to Wrigley Field in 10th grade. They got a tour of the facility. They were on the field. They let the kids do some batting practice, and Richard Rapoy hit a home run out of the field. What is it?
Yeah, into the stands.
Hit a home run out of the field and into the stands. He hit a home run in front of the whole class.
It's like a 300-footer. I was an athlete in high school,
200 and something pounds.
I played college football, so
You're a big guy.
There's some power there.
Some power there, not impossible. Or situation 2, M. Night Shyamalan wrote Stuart Little, the screenplay. Which of those things is more likely? Place your votes. And the answer is, did you ever hit a home run, Richard Rapoy?
No, never went on Wrigley Field.
M. Night Shyamalan wrote Stuart Little. He wrote the screenplay, Stuart Little.
And it's funny because Shyamalan does his twists and whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I guess in Stuart Little, the twist was early. It was not a kid, we're taking the rat.
Yeah, we're taking the rat. We don't want to adopt a child. We're here to adopt a child, but instead we're going to take the vermin that's infesting the building. Well, that is the end of housekeeping. We're coming into a important section, a one-off section. Trump got raided by the FBI over at Mar-a-Lago a few days ago.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about that. I kind of respect it. The Democrats do whatever they want. They take what they want. They use the FBI however they want. They use the three-letter agencies to spy and enforce and intimidate. They don't hold back. They are completely, I respect it. They're doing what I wish the Republicans would do.
Yeah, it's like, this has never happened to a president before. This, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, we did it. Your move, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Exactly. What are we going to do? They just do whatever they want. And this is interesting coming into 2024 because I think Democrats could have kind of let Trump not fizzle out, but in their mind, they would have thought maybe the movement would fizzle out, not be as popular. And then we would have the idea, well, let's just run DeSantis and let's all meet in the middle and find some common ground.
He's got less baggage, you know, that type of thing.
Exactly. But now that they raided the FBI, I think a lot of people are seeing the corruption firsthand, and they're kind of thinking to themselves, hey, these three-letter agencies, hey, the FBI kind of needs to get broken up. When that used to be kind of like a fringier idea. That was more of like a fringe idea. Not everyone agreed. Now mainstream people are basically beating that drum that, hey, the FBI needs to get broken up. So coming into 2024, I think we need a candidate who wants political revenge.
I knew you were going there. So that you think the motivation alone and the hunger is going to be like the driving factor that, you know, Trump needs to kind of wield his own political will against these same people?
Yes, exactly.
And DeSantis won't have that drive. He won't have that hunger.
He won't have that. Well, we don't even need to use him for that. We can keep him in charge of Florida and then bring him in for the next 2 terms after Trump 2024. But we need to send someone in who wants to get political revenge. Like, we have like a gaping wound. We have like a rotten leg. And then like the DeSantis Band-Aid would be like, oh, let's just put this on and like hopefully it gets better. We need someone to come in and hack the leg off entirely.
For sure.
So we need to have like a little bit of a war, a nonviolent war, obviously. We need one side to win and one side to lose. We can't go back to how things were and everything is, we got to be normal. And we need people who didn't vote for Trump the first time to come around this time. I think there needs to be like a mass awakening of the populace. I think people need to realize that politics is more than like mean tweets or he called Rosie O'Donnell a pig or I don't like the way what he talks about women. All those things are thrown out the window. People need to recalibrate their political compasses and realize there's more at stake. There's more important things that people care about, and it's not all this emotional clickbait stuff that the media drives us with.
Yeah. Yeah. Trump said something mean, and then like 40 teachers just took ground that they never had before talking to your kids about weird sex.
Yeah.
You know, like the FBI, the IRS is hiring 80,000 new agents, and they're not coming after the middle class. It's like, yeah, I'll believe that.
Exactly. So we need the people who thought Trump, you know, was too rough around the edges to vote for to realize that the political stakes are so high that it's more important, and there's things that are at stake that are more important than Trump's tweeting, and they need to get over that. We need millions of people to get over that, go out and vote for this man anyway, let him come in, be a wrecking ball, destroy the establishment, and then after it's all done and it's all blown up and all broken down, then DeSantis can come in and be the common ground guy. Hey, let's all go back to, you know, being normal. Let's everyone agree that DeSantis is a good guy. We can vote for him either side. So we do need a little bit of a revenge tour. I think a person who's looking for political revenge is very much needed because he's justified in his seeking revenge.
Yeah. You see the Matt Walsh types going a lot pro DeSantis too. And they're like, oh, he's got less baggage, whatever. It's like, do you expect the media and like the CNN types to just kind of be like, oh yeah, he's not Trump. Like, no, they're going to turn on that exact same machine against DeSantis and poison that well as much as they can, you know, or try to.
Exactly. And if DeSantis gets in 2024, they'll just waste his time. They'll bleed him out. A whole term will go by. Nothing will get done. And then the second term will come and maybe he'll get more done. We need someone who's going to go in there and kind of kamikaze it. Trump has seen people that he appointed turn their back on him. He knows where the bodies are. He knows who's good and who's bad at this point.
Which bureaucracies have people that are going to interfere with
exactly
the policies. The one thing I will say in terms of like just devil's advocate on Trump, DeSantis, and other stuff, because I see both sides, you know, I wish Trump wasn't that old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, because I have consistently said, like, I hate old politicians. I hate watching Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, these old, disgusting people just cling to power. And obviously presidents have term limits. Congress doesn't. But, you know, they took a good 4 years from him in this middle part. So
I think a litmus test for that would be his golf. As long
That's
as
true. As long as he can break 90 or something.
As long as he can go play 18 holes in a day and not be too out of it and shoot a decent score. I think once he starts shooting over 100.
And I agree, he's better. He's more active and like a vibrant young man at his age, you know, like he says.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still think he can, but that is one like thing holding me back a little bit.
Yeah. So I've always been Trump 2024 guy. Now that we're seeing this FBI overreach and the corruption, and as we're seeing it, I think more people are going to understand the necessity of sending Trump in there as a wrecking ball, kamikaze, revenge tour type president. And then once he clears out all the riffraff, I think then from there we have like that clean slate, blank canvas we can work with someone like DeSantis.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of separating the patriots versus the communists, is basically what it's going to come down to. Those who love America, those who hate America. We can fight that war, which we need to fight. One side needs to lose. And then after that side loses, then we can kind of get back to Republican, Democrat, or whatever. So that's a fair point.
They crossed a line, right? You know,
They 100% crossed the line.
and Trump is on the ballot for 2022 now, in a sense, right? Like that's just motivated a bunch of people who people have been motivated. Inflation,
Yeah.
Joe Biden, the Green New Deal type shit that's snuck into every single bill. Every single bill has green energy stuff now.
Yeah.
Is that are you guys used to that yet? Like, oh yeah, and then 90 billion for like tax incentives for something. It's like, can we just fix inflation? Can we just and can we just do infrastructure? Can we just do this? And it's like, no, it's infrastructure. Gay rights, that's infrastructure. Green energy, that's infrastructure. It's like, please, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Trump on the ballot for 2024 is going to be important because people are going to realize that it's not like when Trump was in office, the worst things they would do would be like misrepresent something he did. Like, oh, he dumped the food in at the koi pond. Like, oh, it's so bad. Like that was the worst thing we had going on. Now it's like the country's actually falling apart.
He pushed his way past the guys at the EU.
Yeah.
And it's like gas was $2. So I don't really care.
So now, hopefully, this is enough. We've seen enough of Joe Biden. We see more Joe Biden overreach. Hopefully, it's enough where people will realize politics isn't about who's mean and who's nice, because a lot of times who's mean and who's nice is fabricated and pushed up by the media anyway. And hopefully, they're going to actually vote for things that matter and issues that matter, not these weird social things. We noticed that here in New Orleans, too. Like, New Orleans is a very blue city, and it's like everything is about abortion and like gay rights.
BLM, abortion, trans stuff.
people.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, there's holes in the street. You have to drive like this to avoid potholes.
It's a perfect example of the distraction. It's like, look over here. And it's like, bro, like someone got killed on my street. It's totally like losing the forest for the trees. It's like, well, there's oppressors out there. It's like, bro, you got to get to work. There's a street problem.
This guy's got a gun right there. He's doing crimes.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what's going to happen. I think we've seen enough where people are going to recalibrate their political compasses and they're going to vote for the things that matter, not for the things that they're emotionally tricked into voting for by the media.
Yeah, and we want to hear from the audience, Trump versus DeSantis, like write a little bit of a sentence on who you're with, because we want to know. We want to vibe from the people as well.
Yeah, the dream is obviously Trump 2024 and then DeSantis for 2 terms after, 12 years prosperity. That's the way.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Not gonna lie.
Let's get into Cringe of the Week. All right, our first clip of Cringe of the Week is this lady makes an abortion altar. She's doing an abortion ritual, it looks like.
Building an altar for your abortion can be a really cathartic procedure. I like to always have a candle going on my altar.
That way the demons come.
So there's always light within the darkness. I also really like to add the abortion pills themselves to the altar to really bless the pills that we're going to be taking into our bodies during this process.
Blessed by whom?
Yeah. Who do you think this ritual is honoring here? I don't think it's God.
A container of which you plan to put the products of conception or the fetal remains within to catch that after you've passed it and save it for later when we find a way to bury or otherwise to where we find a way to properly dispose of the fetal remains in a way that gives reverence and respect and support to this sacred abortion experience.
To give respect. It's like you took a pill to flush out the baby. Now you have to give respect and reverence. I don't know who you think you're building this altar for. I think you're going to summon demons.
Yeah, this is just a total white woman moment. You think you're doing something, but you're lost. You're a crazed person.
You're way off. There is something deep in your heart for rituals and procedures and having reverence for something larger than yourself.
And this is larger than yourself, right?
Yeah.
To an extent. You're doing something major. This is a major event, right?
And it's not like, you're getting your communion or you're getting baptized or something. Unfortunately, you're creating an altar for the devil. Moving on, the Maps lady.
I had to make sure that wasn't satire too, by the way. Like that, I was like, all right, let me check her profile. Let me check this stuff because
it checked out, not satire.
Yeah, but it was just, I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. So
yeah, definitely not satire. Sometimes we get tricked here on the show.
You got tricked yesterday or last week.
Yeah, that French guy having a freak out over the credit card getting declined. He was yelling at his dad. It's so embarrassing. That was a comedian, apparently.
So apologize.
Apologize.
All right. All right. The minor attracted person. This one's going around. This will be everywhere by the time our show is released, just because it's so bad.
This just dropped.
Want to talk about minor attracted persons because they
Sex
are
therapist?
probably the most vilified population of folks in our culture. And most folks are making incorrect assumptions about them without actually knowing much about them. And those assumptions create harm for an already marginalized population. You may have noticed that I'm using the term minor.
I want to get to one more point. Yeah, I mean, you know what she's doing, guys, and you see the glasses, you see the bald haircut, you know what she's up to in life.
Yeah, we're causing harm to the pedophiles.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Yeah, let them be less restrained.
One of my favorite things is she kind of says like, I do. She goes on to say, we're not going to play the whole thing. You already know her vibe. She goes on to say something about how like, oh, I like naming that doesn't, it puts the person first. So it's not whatever. And it's like, guys, I don't care about Jim, the bartender from San Diego. The only reason I would care about someone is if they're a pedophile, right? Like,
yeah,
like Jim, like, oh, okay, yeah, the person first. Oh, he's a basketball guy. He likes fishing. He does this. It's like, I don't care.
Pedophile or not.
Yeah, yes or no on pedophile, guys.
Yes or no on pedophile, exactly. It's basically a binary situation. And if you're a pedophile, there's not much more we need from you. We don't need to go out of our way to make people feel comfortable.
So yeah, Fleccas has been saying this on the show for a long time, the LGBTQ plus soft P.
It's all eventually leading to accepting this type of thing. So she seems like a radical now. She seems like she's, this crazy new idea. This will be more mainstream soon. They're just kind of testing the waters.
Yeah.
And they revisit it every 6 months, every year. They revisit it and they see what the resistance to, renaming pedophiles is. And once the resistance gets to be low enough, then they do the next step.
Yeah.
So moving on, the mix teacher, Mix H.
Which mix? You want Mix H first? Okay.
There's two mixes.
Today's my first
Let's
day
do
subbing
both
in
of
an
them.
elementary school rather than a preschool. And in preschool, you're just like teacher, your first name. But in elementary school, you're like Mr. or Mrs. last name. And so I've been trying to think and like decide what my teacher name is going to be. And I don't want to be Mrs. last name. Like I've never wanted to be Mrs. last name. So for a while, I thought like Ms. last name would be okay. But like, I don't know. I didn't love it. And then I was like, okay, how about Ms. H? Like Ms. H would be okay. But then last night I was thinking and I was like, Ms. H just gives like the vibes of like a woman, and that just doesn't. And so I was like, Mix H, like that just, like Mix H just sounds that like that just. And so now I'm having a gender crisis, but I'm also not quite brave enough to introduce myself as Mix H yet. So
to kindergartners.
Ms. H it is for now.
I think she
And apparently
say
I need to
first
update
grade
my
or
brand.
kindergarten.
I think she used to do preschool. Now it's, I think, kindergarten. And now she's not even doing Mix H. She's going by Ms. H because she's not brave enough to say this in front of 5-year-olds.
She'll just say it to her TikTok followers, right?
Yeah. Why don't you? She's a substitute teacher. Why don't you just wheel the TV in and hit the button? That's it. These kids are 5 and 6 years old. It's not really about you.
There's just such an aversion to being normal. It's like an I'm special, I'm different, I need to make these kids do something they've never done before.
It's like an opportunity. It's like, oh, I'm the substitute teacher. I'm with this class for 2 days. It's my chance to teach them how to be weird and not normal, and I'm Mix H. It's like,
Give it up,
like,
lady.
Just give it up. Do something else.
You want to see the other one who actually has a student with her that she forces to bark an order?
Of course.
So my students call me. Why did you whisper it so quietly?
Because it's embarrassing.
She got shy. It's Mix Miller is what they call me. Though I'll say, I had a teenager call me Mr. Luke the other day, and I kind of loved it. What do you think about Mr. Luke?
These people are
So it doesn't matter. Mr. Luke, somebody called you the different thing. Look at the girl who she's like, get on cue. You're okay with this, right?
Yeah, you're okay with this. Is proof that everyone's okay with it. And the kid's like
Whispers
and,
through a mask.
isn't that the worst? And those masks aren't like N95s or real masks. Those are just
It's just a mouth marbler. It's just something to get you. Blah, blah, blah.
mix H. And then also it's what, the summer?
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess the new school year has started.
Yeah.
And masks are back in.
Yeah, that's actually going to be good action for us. We're going to get a lot of material. I want to see some kids get smarter and start filming these teachers when they do the stupid shit. Because we get like the filtered, controlled by like, imagine you catch us on the side of the road and you confront us with something. It's like, it's going to be a lot different than what you see on the podcast, right? And so like these teachers do the controlled settings where they're telling you a story. They kind of like remembered their lines a little bit. So I want to see the unfiltered, like the mad teacher. I want to see you misgender your teacher, get mad, film it.
Yeah,
I think we're going to get some good content this year.
I think so too.
Because they're taking more gains than ever.
Yeah. This is our year. Because they're empowered. They have Joe Biden in office.
Exactly. They're going to be emboldened.
They're looking for the right-wing bad guys. So it's like they're going to be acting out, looking for pushback, and then that's going to be evidence of the bad guys.
Speaking of elementary school teachers and stuff like that, we have another small blurb. Did you see the Georgia couple charged with using their adopted children to make child porn?
It was the guy and his husband.
It was the two dudes, just two 20-something, 30-something dudes.
Who
Georgia couple.
They got a baby.
Yeah, they've acquired a baby, much like, a few people we've seen. Won't name names. And then a follow-up to this, a tweet from this woman. We're going to have to blur out her name because she's not a public figure. She replies to this and goes, also, I would look at where the boys were coming from. Maybe their birth families were worse in their physical, emotional, spiritual, and psychological abuse. The boys could have been better off with loving sexual relationships. Parentheses, main problem is when they grow up and want romance.
What?
I don't even know what this woman's saying, but you go to her bio and it says elementary school teacher.
Is it potential satire?
It can't be. It can't be, dude.
Is she saying that the child porn relationship with the children was not that bad?
I think she's saying it's okay because wherever their birth families are, it might have been worse. I don't know why the assumption is physical, emotional, spiritual, and psychological abuse is just the assumption for kids.
Yeah, that's probably like a bigger picture, an argument for abortion. They'll be like, see, we should have aborted this kid because, look, no one can take care of them after they're born.
Yeah.
That's their idea. Wow.
Yeah, so gay couples acquiring a baby, making child porn, and then the elementary school teacher is defending them. So,
yikes, those are dark times.
Nice society we're living in, guys.
Moving on, we're still in cringe. The Barstool guys are in cringe of the week this week.
Yeah, couple tough things for them.
Yeah, so first they did like KFC Barstool is his name.
Yeah.
I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
He does like his minute rant or whatever. First of all, fix your audio.
He films on a phone in his apartment.
He's just like yelling in an echoing room. It's like, dude, fix your audio.
Barstool, Dave Portnoy's worth like $100 million.
And you can't get like a lav mic on this guy?
I bet he's like, no, I'm doing it the way I want.
So he did some anti-Alex Jones rant. Let's play the first like 5 seconds of it.
On Thursday, a Texas jury ruled against Alex Jones, the world's biggest piece of human fucking shit, saying he must pay $4.1 million in compensatory damages to the parents from the children of the Sandy Hook massacre. On Friday, they lowered the hammer, ordering another $45 million in punitive damages, bringing the total to nearly $50 million. If you've been living under a rock, Alex Jones, the world's biggest conspiracy theorist and the most morally bankrupt person to ever walk the fucking planet Earth, said that the Sandy Hook shooting was not real, and that the parents of the children were...
So that's what he's saying. He's saying the most morally bankrupt person ever. Obviously, this guy's never even probably watched an Alex Jones video.
Yeah.
This guy also cheated on his pregnant wife.
Yeah, he did.
So he's calling Alex Jones morally bankrupt. He knows nothing about Alex Jones. He's saying he's a piece of human excrement.
Biggest human garbage. It's like, all right, bro.
He cheated on his pregnant wife. Isn't that way worse?
Yeah.
So we weren't going to go fully into the Barstool guys this week, but then they had another clip out. It was a different dude.
Before we go, I do want to say this is the same guy who said transgenders are beautiful in one of those.
Yeah.
So it's like they're already done. They gave it up. They're into the pander stage for this guy at least.
Yeah. And then they had a clip where they interviewed Aaron Rodgers, who's unvaccinated. And then look at this quick clip of what they said to him.
People say, "Oh, well, immunization, vaccination."
I did. I said that a lot.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
But
How many people do you think you killed? What's your count?
How many grandmothers?
See,
Let's just do grandmothers.
I mean, I know you guys are fucking around. I don't find that part funny. I really don't.
So how many grandparents do you think you killed to Aaron Rodgers because he didn't get vaccinated? And it's like how many people did you guys encourage to get the vaccine who probably have like myocarditis or some sort of long life issue from the vaccine, some complication?
The insurance companies want to talk to you now. Like, you guys were pumping the vaccine a lot.
Yeah. How many young people did you guys encourage to get vaccinated that didn't need it, that now have some lifelong complication? Probably a lot. And Dave Portnoy, who I don't hate, I like Dave Portnoy most of the time.
I like Dave Portnoy usually.
We have the same enemies. He's a pro-free speech guy. He always says, oh, this company's not political. It's not political. We're not a political company. But they push the vaccine. They're pro-abortion. They pushed that Jon Stewart bill last week or whatever. They were on the Jon Stewart side.
Really?
They're pro-Ukraine. So like, then the CEO and a lot of people at the company are all pro-choice, pro-vacuuming babies out. So they're not a political company, but they seem to be taking a lot of like subtle political stances. So I will just say this, they're cringe of the week this week. Don't look for them to be like strong allies because eventually we'll be let down. It's going to come a time where we're going to need them to stand up for like a right-wing thing and they're not going to do it. And they weren't right-wing all along is the reason why.
I think you get conflated with right wing and like, because Dave Portnoy is so against cancel culture and stuff, because people try to come for him. They're like, you're a misogynist, you're this, you're whatever. And so like they kind of fight alongside you in that regard. Like, screw you, I'm not apologizing, I double down and stuff. But yeah, you're right. With the vaccination, Ukraine, I don't know how much they do on Ukraine. I'm sure KFC has some
go Russia,
like Vladimir Putin, that piece of shit.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, man,
sure.
I guess.
So it's like just because we both hate what's his name?
Yeah,
what's that guy's name? Mike, the guy with the lip sore.
Oh, Mike Rappaport.
Yeah, just because we both hate Mike Rappaport does not mean these people are right wing. It's fine. Let them do their thing. I'm not calling for anyone to be canceled, but they don't see how high the political stakes are. They don't know what the fight is about. So we can't really look for them to be our allies in that fight. We have to just focus on our fight ourselves. We can use them as allies when the time comes for free speech and cancel culture or whatever. But bigger picture, let's make sure we're not seeing Barstool as like a right-wing company because they're not.
Yeah. Barstool just wants you to, talk about sports and do sports betting and gambling and shit. So,
Yeah, they're doing sports betting and gambling. They're pro hookup culture too. So it's like, they don't have like the fundamental values that the right wing has, which is fine. They don't have to.
Yeah, they don't have to.
And they're going to be labeled as right wing from the left. And it'd be a mistake to take that left's labeling of a right wing Barstool and saying, oh yeah, they are right wing and welcoming them into the right.
Just because some extreme leftists call them right wing or something doesn't actually make it true. So.
Exactly. Moving on. Next clip, this headbanger music clip.
Oh yeah, the mosh pit.
I hate this stuff. And these people in the front on stage are just like throwing punches and swinging their fists and like kicking people. It's a culture I really don't understand. And they just punch and they swing and they like hit each other. It's just, get away from me. When I was in high school, I went out with like a girl one time who was into that kind of music. She's like, oh, I'm going to a show this weekend. You want to come? And I was like, oh, sure. Like not knowing what it was. And we went to a show and it was in like a strip mall, like a rented out like yoga studio strip mall. And it was music like this, and everyone was just like punching and throwing fists and kicking. I almost got hit. She almost got hit. It was just a real trash thing I did not like being involved in.
All right, not your scene?
Not my scene at all.
All right.
Last clip. Fair. Last clip of Cringe of the Week. Fat fuck plane seats.
Yeah, this is so embarrassing. You have to admit this on camera.
Yeah.
You're tired of small airplane seats, then you need to watch this video. 2 incredible travel bloggers that I know were recently featured in this article, and the FAA is now soliciting public comments on if airplane seats are too small. Let's talk about it. For the next 90 days, the FAA is going to be soliciting comments from the public on whether or not the seats are too small on airplanes. They are trying to set a minimum required seating standard for airplanes, and you should go ahead and submit a comment. In this article, it mentions that only 20% of people are currently able to fit in a standard airplane seat. So we definitely need to come together.
Is that true?
That's gotta be a lie. 20%? I see a full plane fine every day.
Every single time I fit fine in the plane seat. So it's like 20%. I don't know where that stat came from.
Dude, and this is so embarrassing. You have to be the face of the make airplane seats bigger movement.
Because I don't fit.
you're missing the point.
Yeah, we have to change everything for the fat fucks.
No.
Next, no shoelaces. Make shoelaces illegal.
Velcro only.
Slide on shoes that you stomp your foot in and break the heel on.
Uber Eats should come all the way inside.
Yeah, we should have a new app where they drop the Uber Eats off at the door, and then someone else from a different app comes, picks it up, and then just scrapes it into your gullet.
Yeah. This is like the body positivity, but like let's also bend the world to our will movement.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, hey, I don't mind extra space, but they're gonna charge us more on an airplane. You guys know that, right? You pigs. You pigs know that.
If it did result in like a 2-seat by 2-seat plane, and everyone's kind of riding in first class, I wouldn't mind that.
Your ticket would be $800 instead of $400.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
You know, I'm not willing to take that hit for the pigs. I just eat it on the plane. I just sit like this, and I go, all right, this is gonna suck. I'm 6'3".
Yeah, and then you just get sent in the tube to wherever you're going, and it's a couple hours, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it too. Out of Cringe of the Week, and we are into Urban Decay. Our Urban Decay section today is brought to you by ShopFleccas.com. Once again, best merch in the game. Fulfilled out of the U.S., not made in the U.S.
Printed in the U.S.
Printed in the U.S., shipped from the U.S. I don't know where the shirts come from. ShopFleccas.com is the website. Use code Jerry for 15% off. We have Trader Joe's, The Clintons, Become Unpinnable, Helen, KELLER, DENIER, Crenshaw Sucks, and many, many more. So our first clip of Urban Decay, a New York City McDonald's worker was shot over cold fries.
Yeah, New York City McDonald's worker shot over cold French fries, police say. And so the situation was a woman was in McDonald's. She got cold fries. She complained and said, please give me more fries, I think. The entire time she was complaining to the staff members. I think the staff members were a little bit disrespectful. You know, some sort of like, nah, just deal with it. You know, this woman started FaceTiming her felon son. Her felon son then came to the McDonald's and got in an argument with one of the main, I guess, workers there. The workers, they stepped outside to settle it, and this felon son shot the worker in the neck. He was in a coma for a while and is now dead.
Oof, I didn't know he died.
So cold French fries, yeah, he's dead. Well, shot in the neck. So cold French fries caused a homicide. I can't really even imagine what would happen if, say, the ice cream machine was broken. Pickles on a burger, you asked for no pickles in.
Fries is the line.
I think it would have been a crazy event.
Massacre. And then look at the headline, the second headline that New York Post put up.
This is the part that really kind of set us off and made us cover it. NYC McDonald's shooting could have been avoided with hot fries, says kin of suspect's girlfriend. So it's kind of like an interview with this woman, and she's going, yeah, this all could have been avoided with some hot fries.
It's like, yeah, I know he killed somebody and shot them in the neck, but...
Brought an illegal gun.
But it wasn't fully his fault. The fries were cold.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the guy who was robbing that Dollar General back in the day, and his family, he got shot, killed, and the family's like, he didn't have to shoot him. It's like, what are you talking about, guys?
Yeah.
And in other stories of mundane crimes leading to assaults and criminal stuff, there was a assault that happened in Rochester Hills Mire outside of Detroit. This woman was told she had too many items for self-checkout and was asked to go somewhere else. She did. Then she waited for the person who told her she had too many items to go on break, chased her, found her in the bathroom, kicked open the stall, grabbed her hair, yanked her around, beat her up, left a tuft of her hair. The scene was like a hair like on the ground. Nothing major here, nobody shot in the neck, but these low thresholds for snapping, I think we're seeing more and more.
Yeah, exactly. Like the justification is now not normal. It's not, oh, I was assaulted and I had to defend myself, or, oh, someone broke into my house. It was the fries were cold, or someone told me to go on the other checkout line because I wasn't following the rules.
Yeah. So not the society I necessarily want to live in.
Yeah, exactly. Me neither, which is weird that we moved to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of that stuff exists here.
Time to go rural.
Yeah, soon. Next clip, 17-year-olds shooting each other in broad daylight, I believe, in New York.
Yeah, this is from NYPD. They're looking for tips. Crime Stoppers are looking for tips.
So they
just immediately start shooting.
They start shooting.
Another poor car driving past the gang war.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like, wouldn't if I had a gun, one of my biggest worries would be like if I were to say I was shooting it outside, where's the bullet gonna go?
Where does it end?
Is it gonna go into someone's house, into someone's window, into someone's car? And I would be very cognizant of that. I would be hyper focused on making sure everyone's safe there. These guys get into a little scuffle and they just start shooting ballpark. They're not even like aiming, and all those bullets are flying everywhere.
Yeah, houses. They're on some nice residential, not nice, but a residential block, right?
Yeah. So all those bullets that missed are going into people's houses. They don't even care. They have to go shoot somebody because they got, they were talking shit on Facebook Live.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically what it comes down to.
Do you want to go to the other end of this with our next clip to where some of these stray bullets might end up?
Yeah, sure. Before we do, that last clip was from our friend Leroy Press. He's on Instagram. He's great. He has a ton of great clips in New York City. I've been getting so many good clips from him. Check him out.
So this was a woman who was shot in the face in Portland.
I'm so scared. I'm gonna hurt shots.
It's gonna be okay. Okay. Yeah. Better make sure.
Somebody shot me to my car. That's so close.
Okay,
I don't know where
to relax. Okay, I know.
I don't know, my face somewhere.
You're bleeding.
All right, it's
stray bullet.
Yeah, stray bullet. Stray bullet. She wasn't involved in some sort of beef. This wasn't like a
so
thing
she's
for
just
her.
some lady, and then she gets shot in the face because other people are dealing with their problems by recklessly shooting their guns.
Honestly, this could have been avoided if the French fries in Portland were all operating at 100%. I got to assume this is French fry related.
To assume it's French fry related as well.
But so, this is a graphic video of what happens, a woman shot in the face, right? But I think the more interesting part was the follow-up here. This was from Andy No. He was tweeting this. He said, Katie Guzenko narrowly survived being randomly shot in the face last month while driving in Portland. Yesterday, she testified to city council. And so, that's what you do. You're a victim of a crime. You say, guys, let's stop this, please.
This is what happened.
You be a beacon of, reason. But at the city council meeting, the mayor told her it's not realistic to expect any more than a 10% decrease in shootings, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at the shootings, the chart, year-to-date comparisons, January through June for the last 5 years, or 4 years, and it goes 200 approximately, 250 approximately. Then 2021, it gets to 582. And then 2022, it gets to 673. So from 2019 to 2022, shootings 4x.
The chart's going up.
The chart's going straight up, but we can't even do anything for a 10% decline.
Because we've already decided that we don't get people doing gun crimes.
So
we can't get mad. We can't get people arrested because it's probably racist.
Yeah, something. The rules aren't just, and they have the right to send stray bullets right into your car, I guess.
Yeah, shoot lady in the face. Who knows? Maybe at some point in her life she said the N-word or something.
I would guess she did, and that's probably justified now. So.
Yeah, so it's karma. Maybe that's just karma. Next clip, Seattle preacher has his Bible ripped up by a demon-possessed person.
Did you realize you just committed a hate crime against me by ripping up my Bible?
Sorry, what?
You just ripped up my Bible and you committed a hate crime.
It says, ask me why you deserve to burn in hell.
Give me my Bible back.
And you're telling me about hate crimes?
Give me my Bible back.
Hi, Jesus here. We look like all the people now.
Sir, you just
everyone
committed,
is Jesus.
You just committed a hate crime.
Hi, everyone is Jesus. You're Jesus. That's the point. That was what Jesus was
trying to
teach.
So you just ripped up my Bible.
This person has an angry sign. He's surrounded by angry people. He's tired. He's hungry. He's cranky. He needs to go
Why
home.
don't you give me my Bible back?
Why? What did you do? Did you come up with a logical argument
Why
yet?
did you just rip it out of my Bible? Why did you just
come
do
up with a
that?
logical
That's called a
argument
hate
yet?
crime.
It's not a hate crime.
Yes, it is. You hated me based upon my religion and you ripped up my Bible.
I don't hate you.
Yes, you do. Give me back my Bible. See?
No, I don't.
Give it back.
I don't hate you.
Give me back my scriptures. Those are my holy scriptures.
Come up
Give
with a
them back.
logical argument. Okay, we'll work on this later. I'll see you at 4
If you take that, you're going to get charged with a crime.
Who?
I'm turning it into the police.
Kinnersley Livermore, 425-394-3377, integral person 1988 at gmail.com. Email, talk to me. See if you listen to my side of the story more than you listen to the
turn
angry
that
man
into
of
the police
side
and
that
let
says,
them know.
Ask me why you deserve
You
to
don't
burn in
rip up
hell."
people's religion. Would you do that to a Quran? Would you do that to the Quran? Oh, now it's you wouldn't have done that to a Quran, would you?
No, I'm trying to understand your emotional argument.
Would you have done that to a Quran, a Muslim man reading his Quran? Would you have ripped up his Quran in half like that?
What's wrong with the Muslims?
Would you have ripped up a Muslim's Quran?
What's wrong with the Muslims?
Would you have taken the Muslim Quran and ripped it in half like you just did to me?
What's wrong with the Muslims?
You had no right to do that.
An emotional argument, and then he does he says, oh, it's an emotional argument, and then the guy who had his Bible ripped up asked, would you do this to a Quran?
Yeah.
The answer is definitely no.
The guy's face when he said, would you do this to Quran? He goes, he really had to think about it and go like, obviously not. He wouldn't. You bully white Christians who you think are some sort of like hateful or weak and won't do anything back because they're peaceful. You don't fuck with a group of Muslims.
And if you did, what would they do?
They'd start stomping you out on site.
They'd stomp you out on site. And when this guy ripped up the Bible, the guy who had his Bible ripped up kept saying, I'm going to report you to the police and charge you with a hate crime. We know that probably wouldn't go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have all this information. He read it out loud.
There was his email and phone number, I guess.
And then the police aren't going to do anything about it.
And this guy is clearly a dude who's wearing like leggings and has a she, her, hers pronoun pin on his thing. So he's got a new religion, this guy, and he hates Christianity. And
he's got the demons running his brain.
The demons are in charge and he's getting puppeted.
And then, like you said, would you do this to a Quran? And the answer is no. And then he goes, what's wrong with the Muslims? What's wrong with the Muslims? Like trying to turn it into some like weird argument. And it's like, well, in the Quran, there's anti-LGBT stuff too.
Yeah, they'd throw you off a building, buddy.
Yeah.
You wear those pronoun pins.
Yeah, exactly. And
Pakistan.
they would do that right now today. And if you ripped up a Muslim person's Quran, it would probably get pretty ugly for you. Do you think the Seattle police, if a Muslim person beat up this guy for ripping up their Quran, would they let the Muslim guy go? Because he's on the totem pole of victimhood, kind of.
That's a very good question.
That's what I wonder. Because if this Christian guy punched this guy out, the Christian guy would go to jail, I think, and they would get him in trouble.
Maybe.
Because he attacked an LGBT person.
Probably.
A trans demon freak.
I think you should, I think if someone takes your Bible or anything like that and kind of rips it up, it's attack on site.
I think that's justification.
I think there's a new precedent. Like, you can't take this. You can't take,
And
I
think that's kind of the problem is we just let it go and we say, oh, we're going to report you to the police. And the police don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then the Muslims, they don't follow that. They don't fuck on that.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
So this guy is a Muppet. You have his email and his, phone number now. So,
Yeah.
Not saying to do anything, but I'm sure he's gotten some action.
Yeah, he definitely has. All right, for our last clip of Urban Decay, a bus full of illegals gets dropped off in New York City. Look at this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8.
All men?
Just able-bodied men from Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, wherever
Just
the hell.
dumped off the bus. Now they're in New York. Now they can go see Phantom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for them.
So there's a little bit of upside there.
You think they go straight to Hamilton or Phantom?
I think they go to Hamilton, Phantom. They get to Broadway, man. Nothing like it in the whole world. Maybe Broadway should open up their theaters.
Maybe we'll see some of these guys in a Justin Awad video in Times Square. They'll be hanging out.
Oh, man. The Justin Awad, we have like this bit we're trying to do of like the classroom that taught all the students in the Justin Awad videos.
Yeah. How many moons are there?
There are 6.
Good. Repeat after me, class. 6 moons.
How many days in a year? 1,000. 3 times 3 times 3. Nobody knows.
And the teacher just keeps saying yes.
That really might be what it is.
But yeah, just nothing but able-bodied men off the bus. They want them to be in rural Texas, I guess. They want them to be in small town USA, but now they're going to New York.
Which I'm not happy about because they're deeper in the country now.
This is like the biggest half-measure political ploy, and I'm happy to an extent that it's like sending a message, but ain't shit changed.
And we're sending them deep into the country. It's harder to get them out.
Yeah. Obviously, we are a deport first podcast.
Yes,
never get in the first place.
Yeah.
Especially able-bodied men just looking for a good job. Like, go improve your country. Go do something.
Yeah, exactly. If we take all the people from the countries that could have improved their countries, now their countries are not going to get improved longer. They're going to get worse, and then more people are going to come.
Yeah, the hard worker drain. Just like, oh, America.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, no, Guatemala doesn't need roads or anything. And then they say like, oh, but it's corrupt. Oh, there's gangs. There's whatever. It's like, fight them. Doesn't every country have to have their fight moment, like their take it back from whatever? And what we were saying before about the green energy bill, everything is like, oh, infrastructure is green energy. Like the inflation bill is green energy. The semiconductor bill, yeah, there's some green energy in there too. The same thing is happening to the migrant crisis in terms of everything's a humanitarian issue. Like, oh, these are climate migrants. These are, oh, there's gangs there. There's this, there's hardship. Life's tough everywhere. And some countries obviously have it worse, right?
But just because you're geographically conveniently located somewhat near the southern border doesn't mean that, there's people that want to come from everywhere. These people traveled thousands of miles. So it's like you're not a refugee anymore. You're an economic migrant.
Exactly. And so everything comes down to, oh, it's a humanitarian issue, and that's how they get them in, and we've seen that before at the borders where people like NGOs or groups are like telling people like, say you're seeking asylum, do this. Like they tell them the rules so that they can skirt them or get as much leeway as they can. Yeah. And it's scumbag tactics. We need to close those loopholes. I don't know who likes mass unfettered immigration other than global billionaire elites who run countries and who think they can import voters.
Yeah, I think it's like the long game for the Democrats because they know that there's not much children making on their side. So then long term, they'll have these people here who one side will say deport them. The other side will say give them all the rights and everything they need and all the resources they need. So then they kind of have them in the palm of their hand, the Democrats do, where it's like, hey, vote for us. You'll get free healthcare, you'll get education, you'll be a citizen. Or if you don't vote for us, the Republicans will get power and then you'll get deported.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously.
It's pretty simple. Yeah.
It's very simple math when you do it. Don't get down. Don't get depressed. We are moving on to our Uplifting Gold section. Our first clip of Uplifting Gold.
Uplifting Gold. We need a buffer. We need to wind down from all this ramp up that we just had. Because urban decay like that, murdered over French fries, McDonald's worker. Oh, and I forgot to mention, sorry, I'm continuing the urban decay, but that guy who killed the McDonald's worker, he got charged in another murder from 2020. So it's like, solve that murder, he'd be gone,
Yeah.
But they didn't, and now 2 people are dead. So great job.
Yeah, exactly. Our first clip of Uplifting Gold is a slippery bike trail.
Yeah. All right, slippery bike.
Motherfucking trail, look at this shit. What's this?
Too slippy.
Slides over the wood.
All right. It's slippery.
Shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
It's a slippery trail, man. It's not your fault.
If that guy didn't say it was slippery, the other guy wouldn't have braked.
Ooh,
and he wouldn't have slipped. He would have just glided over and like maybe skidded out a little bit, but that guy's intervention caused him to fall. So
yeah, but slippery trail's a slippery trail. Not good. Next one, rat attacked by bees. So we have the rat here. He's getting attacked by tons of wasps or bees or whatever.
Why is this Uplifting Gold?
This is Uplifting Gold because we don't deserve Uplifting Gold this week because they raided Trump.
Wow.
Okay. No, I'm kidding. There's going to be, this is going to merge into some real uplifting stuff. We just have to get some of the interesting clips that don't fit anywhere else.
Okay.
And you know how Uplifting Gold historically is kind of a grab bag.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no rules.
They did raid Trump this week, so we're not going to be too uplifted because we don't deserve it. Next, what's your favorite race? This is hilarious.
What is your least favorite race? I don't have any. You have a favorite one? No. Oh, that's good. I gotta say Daytona 500 is my least favorite, probably.
Yeah, I like it all.
So the guy asked what his least favorite race is. He says, oh, I don't have any. Kind of scared talking to an Asian guy. And then he goes, oh, I don't like the Daytona 500. And then that guy is stuck with what he said. He's like, yeah, I like them all.
Yeah.
I like
this
that.
Guy's never watched a single car race in his life. Yeah. I like them all. Just because you're on camera. Shocked.
Just shocked and like, all right, I'm just going to run this one out. Oh, man, that's funny. Next, the trans drive-through bit at Starbucks.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. What can I...
Sorry about that. What can I get started for?
That's just a good bit, but they shouldn't be making fun of trans people because trans people are suicidal.
Yeah, that's true.
So Starbucks needs to fire these people?
Yeah, apologize and fire.
Apologize and fire. and then make it right by hiring 1-to-1 trans people to regular people, and then do some sort of college fund or something.
At least a 1-to-1 ratio. We
Yeah.
need trans people. Funny thing, side note, just on Starbucks, I've been seeing a lot of Starbucks videos where like the employees are unionizing. And it's like, you know, the manager and they're like doing a walkout or they're making demands or something. And it's like, that's what you get. You hire the little commies, the little organizing commies. They're going to do that to you guys.
They're going to band together and they're going to organize against you. All right.
Which I don't care. I have no empathy for a super billion dollar megacorp now at this point. You supported all these issues and now your employees, they go, oh, you supported these. How can you not support us unionizing? It's kind of all the same thing.
Exactly. It's like they supported the vaccine, the trans stuff,
the
lockdowns, all this horrible things, sexualizing the kids. Now you can you're in the bed you made.
Yeah. Enjoy it, Starbucks.
Enjoy it, Starbucks.
Next, I was going to say Starbies and then I stopped because that would be bad.
Old lady gun bit at the grocery store. Now we're into some real uplifting stuff. This old lady looks like she's got a little friend who works at the grocery store. And then every week, they pull out their little fake guns and fake shoot each other.
And look, she just rounds the corner on site. And he pulls out a big gun.
See, when the fries are warm,
everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy, and they do jokes with the guns.
And this is my favorite. He pulls out the breadstick suicide vest. And that's the ender.
That's the end. That's nice. Old people are treated with respect.
Yep.
That's a nice way to go about it. Next clip, kid hits someone with the pitch. Looks like a Little League baseball game.
High and inside, right to the head.
Pitcher throws a ball, hits the kid in the face.
Knocks his helmet off. Luckily, it did make contact with the helmet.
And then the pitcher is kind of shooken up by it, which makes sense. This kid's probably like 13. And then the kid who got hit with the pitch comes over and gives him a hug.
He comforts him,
which is nice. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't on purpose.
Such great sportsmanship. He wants him to know that it's okay, that he'll be fine.
That's nice. Such great sportsmanship.
That's Americana.
Yeah, that is.
What is this, the Little League World Series happening right now?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Okay. Americana. That'll be gay soon. Sorry.
Yeah.
Uplifting gold, sorry.
Yeah, they're going to turn that into some sort of LGBT thing. They're going to make the kids wear the flag.
Yeah, the ump called a strike on the black kid, and now he's dead. Like, so...
And
Sorry.
the kid's parents, yeah, exactly, met him in the parking lot after. Next clip, kid gives home run ball to grandpa.
This is my favorite one.
What did you do?
So, you know I got 2 home runs,
You
right?
got 2 jacks.
And then my grand slam, I signed the ball for you.
Okay.
And
Is
it
it
says,
dated?
No.
I'll put a date on it for you.
And it says, Papa, I love you.
That's nice.
Because you taught me everything about baseball.
Multi-generations of men.
You taught me everything about baseball, he says.
You taught me everything about baseball. The kid became successful at it. And he signed the ball and gave it back to the grandpa, and everyone's hugging and crying. Isn't that nice?
That's great. That's true uplifting gold. You can't turn that into anything bad.
You can't. Yeah, exactly. That kid's not saying, "Oh, pa, call me her, call me them." Nice uplifting, nice and easy.
Task oriented. He hit the home run. Grandpa taught him. He hits the home run. Pays
Against
homage.
somebody else.
Pays
There's
homage.
competition. He's the best. Yeah, that's what we like to see. Second to last clip. Dad happy son made the baseball team. A lot of baseball uplifting gold this week.
We're on the baseball move.
It's baseball season.
Surprising my dad at his work with the news that I just got signed by the Washington Nationals.
This is kind of old, but this is still a great one.
Yeah, it just went viral again this week.
Oh my God. Congratulations, son.
His dad, blue collar guy.
You got signed to a Major League Baseball team. Everyone probably worked hard to get there. The kid worked hard at baseball. The dad worked hard to provide the kid with a life where he could play baseball. The dad was working at some sort of car shop before that, so the next generation's doing better than the generation before. Everyone's happy. similar to the last one where, multi-generations of men are being successful and succeeding and appreciative.
That's the dream.
That is the dream. Last clip of the episode, the pregnancy test.
This one's old too, but it's going viral again.
Yeah.
Why would you
This one's
come
from a
over?
month ago.
What?
Are
You're
you
not happy?
Dude, I'm going on a trip next week.
What does next week have to do with anything?
Dude. No, because...
Do you know what that is?
Bro.
Do you know what that is?
Why did you come over? You know I have a trip next week and it's for work. I can't miss that.
Do you know what that is?
Yes, but I can't miss my trip.
But why would you have to miss your trip?
That's not like a funny joke either. You know my grandma is like not okay right now. And
What?
No, it's not funny. I don't even know why
What
you're
is
recording
that?
like that's
What
funny.
is that?
You have COVID.
So it was a pregnancy test that was positive, and he thought it was a COVID test. And he keeps saying, "Why did you come over? I have to go on a trip next week. My grandma's messed up."
That's good stuff.
That is very good stuff. Well, that's it. That's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. Make sure you sign up for that Contrast debit card waiting list. That's going to be huge. It's a very good company. They support us. Let's support them right back. And as always, if you send me a screenshot that you sign up for the waiting list, you get a 50-50 coin flip chance of getting a based mug. Join us in bonus land in a few minutes. We're going to be going, we have basically a bonus section of Cringe of the Week in bonus land this week. We're going to be talking about Brittany Griner, Nathan For You, trans sports updates, good cringe stuff, good stuff happening. Patreon.com/Fleccas or YouTube join. Those links are in the description. It's $2 a month. Goes a long way. And if you ever visit New Orleans, we'll take you out to lunch. So you're getting all the money back.
Basically.
$2 a month. It's very cheap. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the next one.